I saw you repost.
Yeah.
Reposted. What are your thoughts on that?
You never heard that come from me. Shorts is not for me. Just false info. Gotta let them know. I really don't like commenting back on stuff. You get too big.
So, are you content here?
Yeah, I love being here. I ain't saying nothing. I'm here. That's what we're gonna keep doing.
Yeah, you mentioned usually you don't address that kind of stuff. You don't talk about it. So why you feel the silence?
It was so much. They was making headlines, Bleacher Report, and this and that. So I ain't wanted to keep going on, you know.
You talked about how happy you are here, man. What about being here, trying to get this thing turned around? You talked about before about how the good times got to come before sometimes the bad times.
Yeah, ups and downs.
Yeah,
we have some downs right now. We definitely gonna go up. Still confident in this whole group and everybody here. So rocking with it.
Does that frustrate you when you hear stuff like that?
No. As long as the in-house is good, I'm straight. Me and mine is cool. I'm always cool.
How's it going for you this season? How are you feeling out there health-wise after missing 5 games with your ankle?
Yes, I feel good. I feel like we're going to go on a run.
I don't understand, and I'm baffled. As someone that has been dying for Minnesota to make a move that gets them on the level of San Antonio and OKC, and I get they're close. This just doesn't do it. And I like LaMelo. I love the talent. And I have just said year after year after year, he has to learn how to play winning basketball. This year, it looked like he took a baby step. He still wasn't efficient. He still took bad shots, but it looked like he was moving in the right direction. And now for Charlotte, once they started winning a little bit, to say, we got to get rid of him. Minnesota should have looked at that as a bad sign too. 6 years he was in Charlotte, never got to the playoffs. Yes, last year got to the play-in and got trampled, all right, by Orlando. I thought they were going to put the ball in Ayo Dosunmu's hands, obviously with Ant. Now, I got to believe something else is coming. I mean, you're going to play 4 guards around Rudy Gobert? The man was LaMelo for 6 years. Now he's not going to be that. That could be a positive in that he learns and takes on what Edwards and those guys that play defense. It's baffling to me. This makes no sense.
Big trade in the NBA. LaMelo Ball's going from Charlotte and he's going to Minnesota. But what I like about this, Minnesota figured out Ant's not necessarily a playmaker. He's a finisher, he's a scorer, and he's great. This is called a plan. A prime example, at the trade deadline, they go out and steal a guy from the Chicago Bulls. He's a super athletic guard who can shoot. Let's pick in the second round of the draft was Isaiah Evans. T-Wolves picked him up from Duke. They've added a hyper athletic guard who can shoot, and then a catch and shoot guy from Duke. Then they make this move for LaMelo Ball. Shooters, speed, and a setup guy for Ant. That is called a plan.
Man, what is going on? Tell me what's going on, man. I just opened my eyes and LaMelo Ball is playing for the Minnesota Timberwolves. What? They gave up Naz Reid. Concanupu has his own team, like I said the year before, and people thought I was crazy. I said they're going to have to get off LaMelo Ball so Concanupu can be fucking Concanupu. Now LaMelo is with Anthony Edwards. This is arguably the best duo in the NBA right now. What? Let me open my...
The Timberwolves is about to be on fire right now. You got 2 superstars. Superstars is seat fillers. You have 2 on the same team right now. Oh my God, they're about to be on fire. Charlotte, look, any TV game you thought you had gone. They might move y'all to Baghdad somewhere. Nobody's watching y'all anymore. We only watch because of LaMelo. That's the only reason you had viewers from outside of Charlotte. When you have a big superstar name that brings tickets, TV games, you don't get rid of them. Don't let nobody fool you. So right now, there's about to be a dip in the economy of North Carolina. But congratulations, baby. Moving on up.
Ball is on the Minnesota Timberwolves. What is going on? Let's try to unpack this. This happened seemingly overnight, though don't forget earlier in the season, reports did come out that LaMelo was open to being traded after a rough start, though he quickly denied that, and suddenly the Hornets started cruising. Sure, they lost the play-in, but for the first time in forever, this looked like a team with direction. They were finally promising. Now they're trading away the face of their franchise for Naz Reid and a haul of draft picks. A big haul, might I add. Obviously, LaMelo has not been the most available or reliable player, but based on what we know now, it's hard to imagine moving on from a 24-year-old star if your goal is to win now, especially after the season they just had. Minnesota, on the other hand, just became a lot more interesting. A LaMelo and Ant backcourt will be the most electrifying thing in basketball. Will it work? We have no idea. Will it be entertaining? Hell yes. This is obviously a huge swing, but the Timberwolves needed a point guard and they got one. After watching Cat win a championship elsewhere and salary dumping Julius Randle, this is exactly the kind of swing you have to take if you're trying to reach another level. And they still kept McDaniels and Gobert. We obviously don't know if something happened behind the scenes in Charlotte, but based on what we do know and how fun they were last season, this move feels pretty shocking on their end. I'm very interested in what they do next. Either way, Ant and LaMelo on the same team will be enough content for an entire reality TV.
Feel for Charlotte fans today because the Hornets front office just jeopardized the most momentum they have had as a franchise in a decade. They're coming off their winningest season since 2016, and it was a season where LaMelo Ball was the engine of the most productive offense in Hornets history. They had a good thing going, man. The fan base was having a blast. If it ain't broke, don't try fixing it. And I understand the leadership and injury concerns with LaMelo. This was only the second time in his career where he's played even 60 games. Clearly, they thought this was the best chance to sell high on LaMelo, but my question is, selling high for what? Like, where do the Hornets go from here? They still have Con Knipple and Brandon Miller to build around. LaMelo was not the only top 5 pick they hit on, but those guys gelled so well with LaMelo, and I think that his creation and passing ability maximize their skill sets. I don't know if their success will continue to the same degree with a different point guard, or if they take on bigger roles in the offense now. Naz Reid is a cool player, and maybe that 2033 first turns out to be high, but I just don't think the return from Minnesota was worth it for Charlotte to risk an offensive structure that was really humming for them. I honestly think their best bet now is to call Memphis and buy low on Ja Morant, because like I said, they are now in dear need of another long-term point.
Do you understand what is going on? The Minnesota Timberwolves are finalizing a trade for LaMelo Ball. Shams just went on ESPN and said that teams are heavily engaged with LaMelo Ball. Then credible reporters started reporting that the Timberwolves have emerged as favorites. And according to people that I trust very much, LaMelo Ball is headed to Minnesota to play with Anthony Edwards. This video is out before Shams reports it, so make sure that you're following if you want the scoop on all things NBA. This is the best backcourt that we've seen since Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. The Timberwolves are winning the final.
Oh my goodness. Brother, this is minutes away from actually happening. This is the star that the Wolves had planned for Anthony Edwards. Remember at the deadline, the Wolves were so close to acquiring LaMelo Ball this past season. And then out of nowhere tonight, we find out that they are strongly pursuing LaMelo Ball and they're in talks with the Hornets already. Now, the dark horse is that the Raptors are also the other team in deep talks with the Hornets for LaMelo, so it's kind of a two-team race. But after missing out on Giannis, they know they need to keep Anthony Edwards happy because that clock is ticking. I don't see them missing out on another star yet again. And by the way, if you want to stay updated on the NBA, make sure you're following. This is a Wolves team that is severely lacking a true point guard since Mike Conley has declined. Think about a backcourt of LaMelo and Anthony Edwards. That is a nightmare for opposing teams. And what better team to make up for LaMelo's defensive lapses than the Wolves, one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. If they get this done, the Western Conference becomes even more of a...
The NBA let this happen because Minnesota knew exactly what they were doing. Just a couple days ago, Minnesota trades Julius Randle to the Nets for a bag of chips. And we're sitting here all asking, why the hell would they do that? Because if you're trying to keep Ant happy, why would you get rid of Julius Randle? Well, it turns out Minnesota was out here playing chess when the rest of the league was playing checkers. Because 48 hours later, they go out and they trade for LaMelo Ball. But are you kidding me with this duo? Do you know what a backcourt between LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards is going to look like? Some might just say we got Batman and Robin. LaMelo Ball is going to be pulling from the parking lot.
To one another, Charles Lee, an assistant for Joe.
And Anthony Edwards, he's probably just going to get even more chances to dunk on someone's head.
Oh my
And forget about on the court, because off the court, these two are basically the same person. It's like peanut butter and jelly. Just look at the starting five. You got LaMelo, Ayo, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, and Rudy Gobert. There's no way the starting five won't contend with the likes of the Spurs and the Thunder. I don't know if this is the best starting five in basketball, but I do know the league should be absolutely terrible.
LaMelo, reverse the trade. Tell him reverse the trade. Y'all already didn't give us Kobe Bryant. Y'all keep messing up the team chemistry. He was the hottest on the team. He bought us all the ticket sales. He made the most points on the team. It was nobody else better than him.
He made it beautiful to watch.
I swear, he made it great to watch. He made us want to come here. Man, look at my man's on side the building, looking good.
Now they gotta take that
Now they gotta take him off, man. This is crazy. Why would y'all trade LaMelo? Bring back LaMelo, reverse the trade. Tell him reverse the trade.
Minnesota Timberwolves. Y'all did the coldest move in the game. You went and got that Melo. Yes, but here's the thing. Let me give you the recipe. You got to get the other two ball boys. You get the other two ball boys, it will be the most watched team ever in the NBA. Trust me when I tell you. You don't think I'm just talking? No, I'm not. Melo can't win it by himself, but I tell you, with his brothers, I guarantee y'all a championship. The chemistry and the goddamn speed of the game. I never taught my boys to play by themselves, but together, you can't beat them. And with A-Rod, you already a superstar, so you know what to do. You would take a chance. So go get them boys. You can get Lonzo damn near for nothing. You can get Jello damn near for nothing. Guess what? Coming off the bench, starting, team chemistry, morale in the locker room, whatever you want. Wherever them ball boys together, can't lose. You want the championship? Get them other two, and I guarantee a championship. Trust me when I tell you.